Well, there it is, my brake master cylinder fitted. Now, someone has asked me to do a tour of my under bonnet, and I'm going to do that in a few minutes. But first, I wanted to say the Chinesium crap master cylinder here. When I try to put in the clutch master cylinder, I can't because it bangs up against it right there. So I've had to grind one or two of them off. And as I'd already fitted this, I just took a little piece off of the clutch master cylinder, which I will fit, but because I had to grind it off, I've had to repaint it, and obviously I didn't want it to rust. Also, do note that underneath the brake master cylinder there is a spacer. I'm assuming that is the same in every Mark II. I do not know that for a fact, but I believe it is. Also, you can see that I have my cable here tied up out the way so that it doesn't cause a problem. Initially, I had connected cables wrongly, and I'm going to go through that when I do my under bonnet tour, which will be done in a few minutes. Well, you know, it's not a few minutes for you, it is for me, because there's a couple of things I want to finish before I get into it. Here we go. If I could turn the fucking camera. All right. Now, this video is at the request of one of my subscribers, because he is currently doing similar work to me, and I know I have found it helpful when other people do this kind of video, so I am very happy to do this one. And it's just to show where things are and how they are. Now, the radiator, no, it is not fixed, okay? And the Duralast battery over there, do not worry, that is not staying in this car. That is just a spare battery I have, great for testing. I will be putting in what the hell do you call them, an AGM, like a god, who is it that makes them? Optima? I think it's Optima, isn't it? I think it's Optima, yeah. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So what I'm going to do is go around the engine bay, hopefully showing things that I've done, and you can agree or disagree with them, and you know, that's your choice. I know I've already had one guy say, oh, your hinge springs, they should be the same colour as the body. No, they shouldn't. It's my car. Fuck off. I'll do what I want with my car. I am not necessarily going for authentic, but although a lot of it is. Now, we start over this side. Here we have the good old washer bottle. And you can see where I've routed the wire. Now, one of my subscribers said, hey, you've only got 2 wires on yours. And I went, no, I've got 3, and there's actually another one here that comes out of the harness, so 4 wires. Although only 3 of them are connected, as you can see. Well, I say connected to the washer bottle. That will be filled with proper washing fluid. Washing fluid, so I can have a good washing. And let's see, what else have we got here? Oh, let's take this fuse cover off, just in case anybody is interested. Give me a second here. And I'm going to turn you round. And as you can see, I have joined certain wires together. These are because I'm using an alternator, not a generator. And crimp them because they will never be undone. Well, at least they won't be by me. And just, you know, tuck them up out of the way, nice and safe. So they're good in there. There's a relay here. I think that's a light relay. Yes. And what else have we got? Oh, the fuses. There's only 2 fuses in this car. I may change that later. Here we have red and green. I'm really not sure, in all honesty, what they're for. But red and green, as far as I was aware, was to do with brakes. You can see the harness is not finished fixing yet. I'm going to put a clamp in here, and another one, I'm not quite sure yet, probably on this this chassis member down here. Hopefully you can see that. Hang on, let me get a light. But I got a dark brown overcoat. It's an old joke. It's like me. There you go. So now you can see that's the wires there. The blanking plate. I purchased these clips online. They're stainless steel and they're rubber surrounded. I think that's got to be better. I think they look fucking good too. What else have we got under here? Obviously the heater box. This is a brand new valve. The heater connections are there. They are not yet done. Or are they? Hang on a second. I'm talking out my ass again, aren't I? There's only one. So I've still got... Oh, I've got to figure out what they're for. I don't even know what they're for. I know that's the heater. Oh, I've got to keep that away too. I'm going to tie that... I'm sorry. I'm going to tie this up out of the way so it doesn't touch the exhaust and find out what these are. I believe they are probably for the overdrive unit. So I got to find out where the overdrive harness is. I do have the overdrive harness. I may just tape these up because I'm not having overdrive. Why? Because I'm putting in a 5-speed Tremec gearbox. So if these are just purely overdrive, I don't see going to the effort of running the wires in when I'm not even going to use them. But I will keep that harness with the car in case somebody at some point wants to do that when I'm dead and gone. Who sung that song, When I'm Dead and Gone? Ha 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 ha. See, I won't let you get away with that. Down here, hang on, let me turn the light round. Down here are the wires for the alternator. I've written on it Gen because that's what they're called, but these are the wires for the alternator. 2 connections, big fat one, little skinny one. Down there, the engine mounts, I've got the uprated engine mounts. They're the ones that are solid. And, oh, hang on a second, I try and keep that out of the way. I've still got to, and I've got it in my list of notes, and this is something you may want to do, create a list of things to do. Now, I don't mean everything, but I haven't tightened up the bolts on the engine mounts, and that's not something you want to forget. The reason I haven't tightened them up is I've got to make a gearbox mount, and obviously the engine will move, and I want to make sure I'm not going to tear my brand new mounts just because I felt I must tighten it up. Okay. I've had the exhaust manifold ceramic coated. Yes, straight over the top of the old shit. Purely because to get those done in enamel would be ridiculously expensive. And I want to see how this goes anyway. As you can see, it's pretty dusty under here because I'm working on this car. Hang on a second. Put that back on. And of course I've left the voltage regulator there, the RP340 I think it is. There's no point in my mind in taking it away. I mean, I'll leave it there, it looks pretty, doesn't do anybody any harm. The washer pipe, I've fed that through here, as you can see. And below it, the 2 grommets, that's for the cables that are going to come through to operate the flaps on the heater box. And on this side, those 2 down there, that's where the cables will come through to mess with the heater valve. I'm not sure if or what goes in those holes on the firewall there. I know that bracket is that's for the clutch cable. I've still got the shroud to slide up onto the starter. That's for the cable that goes down to the starter from the starter solenoid. And you see the red cable there, that will connect directly to the battery. But at the moment, I haven't connected it because there's a few wires that aren't connected and I don't want to, you know, cause a fire. That black and red wire there, that is from the distributor. And I have got an electronic distributor there, so that's done. Silly notes I do, oil in plug holes. I have put Marvel Mystery Oil in all of the bores. Because this engine isn't ready to run yet, I want to make sure. And what I do is I grab my trusty, what is it? I think it's a 33mm socket, and put it on the crank down the bottom and turn the engine over manually. As you can see, I've got an aluminium pulley here. I've taken off the twin groove and put on single groove because I'm putting an alternator on. So that is something I will have to deal with. I rebuilt the water pump using the kit from S&G Barrett. What they didn't tell me is that the shaft is 10mm shorter than it should be. So I pushed it on exactly as I took the other one off. Well, of course, now this pulley is now 10mm too far in. So I've either got to get a spacer made, or I've got to pull the pulley off. And I haven't made up my mind yet what I'm going to do. And not the pulley, sorry, the flange that the pulley goes onto. I may try and pull that off before I even install the radiator. For obvious reasons, it's easier to access, and also because I've got to make up a bracket down here for the alternator. That is also easy with the radiator out of the way, and obviously the grill missing. As you can see, the wire harness here, sorry, let me hide that again, and it has this plastic cover on it. And when, hang on, I don't know if I can do this, hang on. It goes in front of the radiator, okay? But you have to be careful, you know, you make sure you get it not pinched. Down there you will see the brake union junction. Now, mine is up here high because, well, I would say this is Chinesium crap, but it's not. It's made by Auto Sparks in England, so it's English crap. One, they didn't make it long enough to reach down to where it was originally. Two, they should have had right-angled connectors on. Instead, they've got straight ones. I think I will probably change that because I don't like the way those wires are the way they look and the way they're connected. I'm not happy with that, so I think I will chop them off and put on a couple of right-angled ones. That'll be a lot easier. What else have we got on this side? Hang on a second. Let me come round. Oh, I discovered that that's a separate wiring harness that goes from this brake fluid reservoir to the harness here. Yeah. So yeah, as I said, this is brake. Red and green is brake. Red with a green tracer is brake. And there should be a bullet connector and a eye connector, and then at this end there should be two spade connectors, which obviously go onto these two connections. Over this side we've got the auto switch, which is obviously water temperature. And this one here, hang on a second, what's that one? Oh dear, brain cell. One's water temperature, what's the other one? One's for the fan. No, it's not, it's a manual fan. One's for the carburetor, the starting carburetor. Boink. One of them comes here. Which one is it? What do we got? We got a green with a blue tracer. And we got a green with a black tracer, green with a black tracer. So the one from the auto switch tells it, oh no, it's too fucking cold, open up. And so it does. And then this one goes to the temperature gauge. All right, and down here is the oil pressure gauge, which is a white with a brown tracer. And as you can see, I've got it clipped out the way so it doesn't foul with the steering. And also, of course, the carburetors will be here. In fact, I might... I've got to get the starter connected. The starter cable is not connected at the moment. It's just sort of here. So I've got to connect that. Brake fluid reservoir and clutch reservoir, as I mentioned before. I've got this special adapter on the top here, so that means I can take the clutch, well, cable wherever I, not cable, pipe wherever I need to. Here obviously is the wiper motor, and there is the starter motor and the connections. Hopefully that is helpful to someone. Oh yeah, and I've got a high torque starter as well. I've done a few little mods on this, you know, nothing horrendous that can't be reversed if some purist wants to do that. But I want to make this drivable and enjoyable, and I'm going to be driving it and enjoying it. What's that down there? Hang on a second. Now this bracket is for the throttle return spring. Well, there's a long spring that comes up to here. Oh, and I have two of them, so if anybody wants one, let me know. Dusty? Yeah, very dusty, isn't it? Yeah, can't be helped. I've still got to deal with this down here. This is where the dip switch is. That grommet is fucked. I've got to deal with that. There should be a rubber band here to hold the battery, and obviously the battery should be bigger, but if I put an Optima battery in there, it's not going to be huge. So anyway, I'll get a rubber band. I think there's a proper one for that, and as you can see, it sits on a tray. It doesn't have to, but I've got the tray. I've also got a cover that goes over the top. The reason that will be handy, not that it should affect me here in Arizona, is when you lift up the bonnet, all the water pours off the bonnet straight onto the battery. Well, obviously that could cause a short. Okay, now the main wiring harness, hang on a second, as you can see, disappears through that hole there, and then part of it comes back out here for the wiper motor. And what else have we got along here? Oh, that's the bonnet release cable, and I've fed, oh actually I'm going to take that off of there. Yeah, I'm going to just run that under here, under the fuel pump, fuel filter bowl. Oh, and by the way, this isn't your normal fuel filter bowl, the one I've got. This is actually off of a Land Rover. Reason I got it is because you can just turn this down and it shuts the fuel off. So should somebody steal your vehicle, the most they'll get is some carburetors full, which is probably about 10 yards in a Jaguar Mark II. So there you go. What else can we tell you here? I got these clips online. I like them. They look better than the originals with that nice little blue bit on them. The aluminium radiator. I've mentioned it before. I rebuild water pumps. $100 is what I do them for. Powder coat them, fit a brand new kit inside them, and then shipping on top of that, of course. So if anybody needs a water pump, let me know. Oh, and I coat the inside with Gliptol. Gliptol? Yeah, Gliptol. It helps the flow. You know, okay, a lot, probably not. You will also notice missing here is the AC filter, which filters to the brake servo. I'm putting an upgraded servo in, and it does not have a hole for that, so it's not going to get one. It will get its air from the vacuum tank, and the vacuum tank will get its air from the intake manifold. I'm not sure where, to be honest with you. Oh, I think it's there. I think it's that hole there. So we'll be dealing with that later. Well, I don't know what else I can show you, in all honesty. Ooh. If there is something else you would like me to show you, let you see, that I perhaps have done. I've still got obviously the main wiring harness to do for the HT leads. This white wire here, that goes to the coil. That sends power to the coil, so you have to make sure you get that on the right one. These two wires are from the coil, from the distributor. Can't remember which way round they go now. I'll figure that out. It's not going to be a big deal. It's just one of those things you have to do. What else can I show you? Really nothing much. I do my own powder coating. So that's a good thing. You should do that yourselves, guys. You know, it's not expensive to build up a little oven and stuff. I bought a domestic oven, cost me $25. Excuse me, I'm dry. Right. As I said, I bought a domestic oven, $25, wired it up, built myself a little wooden spray booth, and it's great. It has to be an electric oven, it can't be gas. And whatever you do, don't use the one that's in the house that your wife cooks on or that you cook on, because the fumes will kill you. Okay? Heating up powder coating and then heating up your pizza is not a good idea. All right, that really is about it for this video. As I said, it was requested, and if I can help anybody, I will, because people help me. Oh, that's the cover that goes on the top of the battery, by the way. Still got plenty to do in here, waiting for Auto Sparks to supply me with the wires that connect to this wire so that I can light up the instruments. Oh, they're I tell you what, I must admit I'm getting very frustrated with them. I've got a wiring harness that I don't know what it is, and let me show you, just in case any of you out there can go, oh fuck Gary, that's a blah 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 harness. Where is it? This is it. This one harness here. Let me bring it into the light. This harness has two greens with a purple tracer. It has a red. It has a black. It has green with a blue tracer and a plain green. It is about, I don't know, 18 inches long, I guess, roughly. Bullet connectors, both ends. So I contacted Auto Sparks, sent them a photograph, said, hey guys, can you help? I bought a kit for my 1964 Jaguar Mark II 3.8 right-hand drive. I got this harness in the complete kit. I don't know what it's for. It wasn't in a bag. What's it for? Well, what's the part number? Are you stupid? I just said it wasn't in a bag. How the hell would I know what the part number is? I've told you what vehicle it's for. Surely you can open up your catalogue, look at a complete harness for a Jaguar Mark II 1964, and go, oh, it's got this harness, this harness, this harness in. Oh, that one's his. Or, that doesn't belong to the car. Don't know why you got it. Instead, they keep asking me stupid questions. Finally, I said to them, you know, politely, and I wanted to say, get off your fucking ass, stop sitting behind a desk, go down to the factory where the guys build these harnesses and say, hey guys, look at this photograph. It's meant to be from a Jaguar Mark II, blah, blah, blah. Is it part of the kit? Well, guess what? They haven't bothered to get back to me. Yeah, that's customer service for you. And they're English. They suck. As I said, I'm waiting for them to get me the other harness. Oh, and I had to go up black and blue in the bloody face before they would even do it. It's sorry, I find this very frustrating. When you order a complete harness, I expect it to be complete. And Auto Sparks, at the moment, are not doing good. If this harness comes through, and if they sort out what that harness is, I will let you know on my channel. I'm happy to bash them, but I will also praise them if they sort it out. Guess we will wait and see. All right, now get out of the garage, go do some shit. And thanks for watching. Do appreciate it. You know, like, comment, subscribe, ding your dong, all that shit. Thank you. Bye.